family, welcome to the Spiritual Counseling TV network. Today we are here for our weekly message of June 7th to the 13th of 2021, and I will also offer you all today, as usual, a free daily morning spiritual guidance for today on Monday, June 7th, 2021. My name is Christy Ramirez and I'm your soul coach. So it's such a beautiful day. I want to begin by saying, and I do want to do a little bit of an update about what's going on and what to look out for. There's a lot of great new stuff, such as my Lightworker University presentation called 2021 Part 2, The Reawakening. You can purchase it because it's a paid event. It was about an hour, and what we talked about in that presentation was basically what we're about to step into these following last 6 months of 2021. And it's critical, and it's a huge turning point, has this new chapter in this new book that we're all beginning. And what I talked about in the Rebirth, which was the 2021 presentation, which you can also still purchase on sale for the rest of the year. It's been like this split in half of this year, and this is good because we've completed one cycle of what we were supposed to focus on this year. Many of you have completed certain projects already, and that's amazing because this just means that now you're ready on for the next thing. And what's about to happen basically with this reawakening is just so spectacular. I am excited about what's to come. And this is just the beginning, literally, because this new cycle that we're stepping into is not going to end. It's not going to end this year, but rather it's going to end next year. Because next year, 2022, is the metamorphosis. And I will be also giving a special presentation about that at the end of this year. So let's just talk about, before we get to our oracle reading and spiritual guidance from God today, I want to kind of just chill here and just relax, because I feel like I have been personally like at a go this whole weekend, this whole last week. Last week was a very much an initiation kind of week. It was very intense in your personal life, but also when it comes to mission work, because we were being pressured to do certain things that needed to get done. And these are not things that can just be done, you know, like, oh, let me just do that. It requires effort. It requires planning. It requires time and energy, of course. So I feel like last week, being that it was the first week of June, it was a pressure point, kind of like what it takes to be a diamond, right? A diamond was basically a rock that did well under pressure. So it was just a little bit of a test last week is what I feel. And I feel like this week is about to normalize a little bit. We had a lot of astrological activity as well. We were in Mercury retrograde. We were in the between of the eclipses. We have a solar eclipse this Thursday, which I'm excited for the spirituality retreat, because these 2 weeks, ever since the last lunar eclipse, which was basically almost 2 weeks ago, I watched that spirituality retreat that I did. There's been like a huge, just like a whirlwind, and even a timeline shift. So maybe you've been getting visions about your future. Maybe you've been revealed certain insights as to how to perhaps get to that vision for the future, aka your dreams. This has been these 2 past weeks about seeking after our dreams. Remember that dreams don't just come showering out of the sky per se. The opportunities do, but we still need to put in that work and that effort to get there. So it's been a lot of action-oriented energy, and it's kind of felt like military-like energy per se. You know, being in the military is very intense. It could be very much a lot of solitude involved as well, because remember that everybody in the military is really just looking out for themselves. And yes, you can find your tribes and maybe a best friend in the military, but a lot of the times, most of the soldiers are always being given tasks to do that they don't really have enough time to even build friendships. And they do this when they have like their time off, which is like barely none, right? Usually on the weekends or right before they go to bed, because they have strict sleeping schedules as well. It's very, very strict in the military, which is why some people drop out of the military. because they realize what it's going to really take to get there, to keep ascending, the ladder of hierarchies in the actual army. And it's very few, only the strong-minded are the ones that stay. And the reason why I'm bringing this up when it comes to the military is because this is what the warrior of light process is like. The spiritual journey and our mission work, it's really only for the strong-minded, because a lot of people will quit either because of temptations. Laziness is also a temptation, believe it or not, and everything else that Dante talked about that keeps you in this purgatory state. And if you're resonating with me right now, you're way above that, because we've been talking about this in my fashion shows every month. I had an amazing weekend filming all the monthly content, including the love show and the fashion show. And of course, the Lightworker University event, I filmed it on Wednesday. So it was very action-packed for me, but it was still fun. It was fun, and I got a lot of insight. So basically, I've been channeling a lot this week, which is basically why I'm showing up today. I don't know how I'm showing up here today, because even though I have the energy, I feel amazing. But I feel like even like my voice was just a little bit, I guess, tired of talking. So I gave it a break a little bit. Of course, I don't talk all day. But yesterday I did my sacred prayer circles, because that's always a must as well. It's like our church that we show up every Sunday with Mother Mary, Jesus Christ, our Father in heaven. And it really provided me this inner peace that we all need. So if you really also want to feel that peace from your heavenly beings that are wanting to guide and guard you, please join my School of Light and learn more. Definitely, you're going to get a lot of access to different classes, different themes, and it's just going to be very comforting during these times, especially if you feel alone, or if you're having relationship troubles. Maybe you feel like no one understands you when you wake up on your journey, which happens a lot as well. But that shouldn't be the case, because that's why I'm here as your soul coach. When I woke up on my journey, I not necessarily never felt alone, because I had mentors that I looked up to. And just through the law of attraction, you attract people who are on that same vibration. So just think about that. You're never alone. And if you literally are alone, and you have nobody in your life, which most not likely probable, you have God, you have your angels, you have your spirit team. And they're always here to guide you. And of course, feel free to include me in that circle of yours. And if you want to even go deeper into your personal life, maybe how I can help you on your soul journey, definitely book a session with me. You can go to christopherramirez.com/booking. I take individuals, I take couples as well, children of any age, and also family therapy. I studied marriage and family therapy, so I'm very experienced with the family and couples area as well. I used to go to homes, and I used to do in-home therapy. So I have a lot of different experiences. I worked in schools, I worked in a hospital for some time as well. So trust me that I've been everywhere in the psychology career field. So please don't hesitate. And I've even dealt, believe it or not, with abusive situations. I worked at a domestic home as well, domestic violence home for women. And all of these experiences have taught me different things. And now I have my own unique approach when it comes to my clients. I believe that it really has a lot to do with spirituality and faith. And that's the only thing that can really help you to surpass any psychological or mental health issues that you're dealing with, and even relationship issues, believe it or not. Faith is the only thing that's going to save you if you truly believe. Alright, so, sorry, tangled. So, maybe that's like an energy. Make sure you don't get tangled in the wrong areas in your life. So again, this is about breaking negative cycles that we've already learned. I've been saying this a lot, but God wants me to repeat again because it might be of significance for some of you who might be feeling stuck. Break old patterns, old habits that are not serving you, and decide to open your mind and your heart and soul to these new ways of life, including the spiritual lifestyle, because it is a way of life and it's a different way of living per se. And it's not about that you need to meditate all day per se, or just like, chant all day. It's about living mindfully with the faith and with all your interactions and how you walk around in the world and even how you conduct yourself in relationships, right? All of these different details are what actually makes up the way of living spiritually. So think about that, because it's not what you think or even what's portrayed on the outside per se, you know, like what you do for a living, because you could do something for a living that's not necessarily spiritual, but you can be living a spiritual lifestyle, okay? So this applies for everybody, because everybody has a purpose here on earth. Everybody has a talent and a gift, and the way that we use these gifts is what sets us apart. That's a beautiful message to begin this week. It's definitely more lighthearted than usual. God wants us to stay lighthearted and wants us to also regain more of this playfulness and return to this innocence. So a lot of self-love, as well as these beautiful pink roses, are going to help us today. I have been nurturing these for a week already, and they're just blooming more than ever. So they're so beautiful. I'm so grateful. And let's see if something else wants to come in for today, because I just know that there's something else. Okay, make sure that you purchase my You Tell Me Soul Coaching program. This program is the program of the year. It's going to help you breaking those old habits, helping you with this transition from your old self into your new self. And then make sure you purchase my journal. There's a current giveaway right now. First three to purchase either the monthly or the yearly membership of my Spiritual Counseling TV network will get a free journal. Take a look at my website for all the details on the journal, including the sneak peek, christaramirez.com/shop, so that you can gain insight into what you're missing out. Because I've been using that journal every single night, and every single night it has forced me to reflect on my actions of that day. It's like a review, and this only makes us want to be better the next day. And this is how we continuously evolve, and also staying grateful and appreciative of every single day's experiences is what's going to keep us happy. Because I know that all these changes can seem unstable, can seem overwhelming for many, but that's no excuse to not to be happy, because you can still be happy anyway, no matter where you're at on the journey, no matter what love situation you're in, what relationship status you have, you can be happy now. And again, that's where my monthly shows are really going to help you deeper with that guidance when it comes to love, when it comes to the spiritual journey, so that we can continue to progress. So I feel like now I'm going to begin with the reading for today on Monday, and let's get started. Okay, so as I was spreading out my oracle cards, I know that last week I brought in Nostradamus for the weekly message. So today I was actually guided very funnily to these two cards, which is my Akashic Records Tarot cards and my Angels and Ancestors cards. So this fact is just telling me that there's a lot of past life energy coming up this week. Could be a past life relationship, a spiritual partner. Usually our spiritual partners, we've known them in a past life, which is why we feel comfortable. It could be past friendships as well. Things are coming up from the past. So let us get a little deeper guidance from our angels and ancestors for this week of June 7th. And of course, this is what also eclipses can bring back around, the timeline shift, right? So that's interesting. And of course, we'll go deeper into this in my spiritual talks on Thursday for the solar eclipse and the new moon, provided by my Body, Mind, and Spirit Health and Wellness brand. It's always free on my YouTube channel. And we do a sound bowl healing after that. It's very, very healing. I love doing that event. So today, and this is a card that's been coming up these past few months every time I bring out this deck, and it's the Lady card, but this reminds me of the Empress. It's like enjoying growth and reaping the rewards of our hard work. This, I feel, is a promise for the future. You know, interesting, I was going to say hope, but no, this is not hope. This is a promise for the future. And this also does remind me also of the Garden of Eden, right? Which we talked about in the May Love show. And we touched on this weekend in the June fashion show. So that's coming up. You know, I talked about some insights that I've been getting in my night studying that I have. I've been reading some secret teachings, and you know, the snake, which was that tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden, the snake per se has also a positive symbolism to it, which even Jesus recognized in his teachings. And the serpent represents wisdom. So I'm also feeling like we're reaping wisdom throughout this week, hence the revelations and the deeper insights makes sense, right? And we do this, of course, through studying, seeking the actual knowledge. In my School of Light, you're going to get all of that and more. And of course, doing just your own inner searching, research. But in solitude is where we get the most raw information. Because believe it or not, out on the internet, there's very, you know, a little bit of like just not 100% information per se. And old books are the way to go, but those are usually not available all the time. So the next most raw, clean, pure way of gaining information is actually just through having conversations with God. And that's how I do my research per se, how I learn things in my School of Light, because we learn from books, but then I'm also channeling information throughout the classes, and then I do my own studying in my own time as well. So it's like an all-day thing, and that's how we get the truth, and that's what we're here for, right? So let's go into the Akashic then. The Queen of Scrolls, you see, this is the Divine Feminine with the wisdom, the insight, and the Fated Meeting. Wow, this is a beautiful card for this week, for love. And Archangel Gabriel comes in because this is for mission work. I've also been getting this message, like if you are being introduced to a new spiritual partner that perhaps is romantic for you, this is so that you can complete a mission. It can also be business partners, it could be friendships, it could be any kind of relationship. But this is so that you can complete your soul contract. You see this woman here with the contract. This is our contract, our karmic contract that we set with God before we incarnate on earth, which is our mission. And we're getting help from the people that we need. It could be a whole soul tribe, or it could just be one person. But this is spiritual guidance that we're going to be seeking and getting from these people. And this is Archangel Gabriel, which he is the ruler of helping us with our purpose, our artistic, creative expressions, and our projects. So this is very intense energy, very beautiful. And of course, it can also be new love coming in that is a spiritual union, which is what I was getting in the love show, which was the theme, if I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, is the perfect match. This is the perfect match finally arriving, literally. Kind of like a Cinderella story here as well, right? So that's a beautiful energy this week. Thank you, God. So now let's continue then with the actual dating. Alright, so let's begin with our spiritual guidance from God, from Source himself right away. This is what it's about. Your sensuality, playfulness, and flirtiness with life will keep you feeling young, so just lighten up. That's the message for Monday. Beautiful message, because I feel like that's what it is. And let's get our affirmation for today. Help us manifest the life of our dreams. I know what I'm meant to do on earth, and I commit to this mission. So this is what it's about today. I am an army of God. What I just began today's speech with, I am safe and protected always and forever. And I am grateful for the healing that's taking place in my body. I am healthy in my body, mind, and soul. And I choose myself first. So this is a very important message for today. Choose your health first. Choose yourself. Feel good. And this is what's going to help you to feel more playful, sensual, and to lighten up with life, with yourself. Our angel message for mission work, for our purpose, our true calling basically, here on earth. Our angels always help us to empower us when it comes to stepping into our leadership position, because that's what mission work requires. It requires that we believe in ourselves and that we have confidence that yes, we can do it. Seven of Michael in reverse, which is the deception card, letting go of illusions of the ego, which is where A Course in Miracles comes in, which is what we're studying in my spiritual book club at my School of Light. And this is about not working alone. This is about seeking again these partnerships, the soul tribe, that's the teamwork that's going to help you get to where you want to go. Choosing the lighter path means allowing others to help you, because if you choose the path to go alone, it might get a little dark and might get a little heavy as well. So that's just the message for today. And 7 of Michael, right? Angel Michael always guiding you in the right direction. And he's always protecting us, right? Hence why that card came up before. Let's get our overall daily message from our angels today on Monday. Innocence, returning to innocence, like a baby, being reborn. Beloved one, everyone is guiltless in truth. And as no one can alter God's handiwork of perfection, give us your feelings of heaviness so that we can lighten your load. Give us any guilt, anger, or blame that may shroud your loving outlook. Enjoy the peace within your heart once more. Beautiful message. And then another one here. Have confidence, what I just began with. And remember that having confidence moving forward does not necessarily require you to have confidence in yourself, but having confidence can literally just be confidence in God being enough, along with knowing that God works through you and with you in all ways. So if you're nervous about saying something or doing something because you want to represent God in the best way, don't worry, because God will just do it through you. You don't need to worry about that. So lean upon us if your confidence wavers, the angels are saying, and we will buoy you, and hence rescue you with courage and faith by lending you some of this. And this is what we need today. Beautiful message. And then last but certainly not least, let's get our romance angel for today on Monday. For when it comes to love, it's safe for you to love. Again, we've been getting this message, this new love that's coming in. It's safe for you to open your heart and be vulnerable with this new love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And remember that opening your heart can literally mean by doing more of what you love, being loving with those around you in your life already, your family, your friends, and above all with yourself. That's how we open our heart and bring in more love naturally. And you know, this is a man watching a feminine here on her high white horse, protected and blessed by angels. And this is the knight in shining armor that is coming also to save the day. And perhaps finally heal your heart as well. If you've been hurt in the past from past relationships, and maybe in the past you did put yourself in that vulnerable situation to trust only to be betrayed or deceived, right? Which is why the 7 of cards, 7 of Michael came up in reverse, which is the 7 of swords. But now things are different. There's a timeline shift where now it's finally stars aligned, and now it's destiny for you to actually experience true love. And this goes for most people out there who are on the path of God. God is wanting to reward you with an equal companion so that you can also be happy. That's a beautiful message. Thank you all for watching today's sample video. And if you want access to all my other daily morning spiritual guidance videos, please become a member at my spiritual counseling TV network at christyramirez.com/TV. My name is Christy Ramirez and I'm your soul coach. Make sure to check out all my different content, resources, and sign up to my free mailing list to receive extra newsletters where you get extra blog articles and heavenly messages. I'll see you all next week. Namaste. Counseling TV network. My name is Christy Ramirez and I'm your soul coach and also your health and wellness expert. Welcome to today's weekly health guidance for June 7th to the 13th of 2021. This is a special video provided by my Body, Mind, and Spirit Health and Wellness brand. So definitely keep watching these on a weekly basis and check out that brand, all my exclusive content, my membership subscriptions, and my programs. Let's get started with today's guidance. I brought different oracle cards to help us. I want to get guidance for when it comes to mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. So this is very interesting. And of course, our physical body is going to always benefit from holistic nutrition, meditation, and yoga, which is what my membership subscriptions are about. Definitely check those out. And I also have programs like my Herbology Master Course. I have my Science of Yoga educational course to teach you why yoga is so important and what it actually does at an arc level. And my mindful meditation program to teach you teach you how to meditate to activate your third eye and your spiritual eye. And last but certainly not least, I am working on a program, my Sacred Woman Healing Program, that will be available soon, which is based on Egyptian rituals and teachings for healing the sacred woman, and hence to be able to experience a sacred relationship with her sacred man. So let's begin. And of course, check out my website, christyramirez.com/health and wellness. All right, so I'm feeling like for mental health and emotional health even, definitely slowing it down, and just as simple as closing your eyes and taking like a few deep breaths can just help to dissolve whatever it is that you're experiencing in that moment, especially if it's something like anxiety. And I will be having a special psychology lecture provided as well by my Spiritual Counseling TV network. So if you're a member, you'll have access to this video. And these are lectures that I will be doing as I'm called to do for my members. And that's where also my mindset talks come in. But I am feeling like just breathing is as simple as that. That's what's going to help just give us more Zen. And that's what I'm going to bring in, the Zen Tarot, written by Osho. Let's start off with some mental health guidance for this week. Wow, we got the aloneness card, and this has been coming up a lot in the dailies. It's about solitude this month, even self-love, because that's in the Hermit where we find ourselves, where we're able to heal from past traumas, but also where we reach enlightenment like Buddha did, right? And then this card also wanted to come in. You see, it's so that we can reach higher consciousness. So don't be afraid of this aloneness, because it might seem empty or dark, but really look at that. The light is right there. And in the fashion show, I talk about the difference between light and dark, darkness versus light. That actually darkness is the prerequisite for light to even exist, because without dark there would be no light, right? So this is going to give us deeper wisdom. My Buddha Talks spiritual gatherings that I do every now and again as well at the School of Light, that's what I usually focus on studying at night, so that I can give you like more of like a summary and like a discussion format of what I've learned, because this is definitely the true enlightenment. Beautiful message. I do want to read from the booklet today from these cards. The aloneness card is the number 9 card. And it is a major arcana. When you are alone, you are not alone. And this is, believe it or not, part of our health, right? Mental health. A lot of people think that being alone is depressing, or they feel restless with that aloneness. And many people can't be alone. And that's what can also create imbalances orally when they're always around people, right? So you need to know the healthy balance. But look at this. When you are alone, you're not alone. But when you're simply lonely, and there's a tremendous difference between loneliness and aloneness, right? When you are lonely, you're thinking of the other, you're missing the other. Loneliness is a negative state. Remember that you can be surrounded by people yet still be lonely. Yet you can be utterly alone and not feel lonely, right? You are feeling that it would have been better if the other was there. Your wife, your friend, your mother, your beloved, your husband. It would have been good if the other was there, but the other is not. Loneliness is absence of the other. Aloneness is the presence of oneself. Aloneness is very positive. It is a presence, overflowing presence. You are so full of presence that you can fill the whole universe with your presence, and there is no need for anybody. So when there is no significant other in our lives, we can either be lonely or enjoy the freedom that solitude brings. And I feel like this really applies for people who are single specifically. But know that the perfect match is out there for you, which is what the message of hope in my love show will give to you. When we find no support among others for our deeply felt truths, we can either feel isolated and bitter, or celebrate the fact that our vision is strong enough, even to survive the powerful human need for the approval of family, friends, or colleagues. If you're facing such a situation now, be aware of how you're choosing to view your aloneness, and take responsibility for the choice that you have made. The humble figure in this card glows with a light that emanates from within, right? One of Gautama Buddha's most significant contributions to the spiritual life of humankind was to insist to his disciples, be a light unto yourself first before that you can do that to others, right? Ultimately, each of us must develop within ourselves the capacity to make our way through the darkness without any companions, maps, or guides. Wow. And let's take a look at the consciousness card. From the suit of clouds, it's the Ace of Clouds. Minor Arcana. Consciousness. We come from the unknown and we go on moving into the unknown. We will come again. We have been there thousands of times, and we will be here thousands of times. Our essential being is immortal, but our body, our embodiment, is immortal. Our frame in which we are, our houses, the body, the mind, they are made of material things. They will get tired, they will get old, they will die. But your consciousness, for which Bodhidharma uses the word no mind, Gautama Buddha has also used the word no mind, which is something beyond body and mind, something beyond everything. That no mind is eternal. It comes into expression and goes again into the unknown. This movement from the unknown to the known, from the known to the unknown, continues for eternity, unless somebody becomes enlightened. Then that is his last life. Then this flower will not come back again. This flower that has become aware of itself need not come back to life, because life is nothing but a school in which to learn. And that's our test on a daily basis, right? Passing the grade so that you can graduate. He has learned the lesson and he is now beyond delusions. Remember what we learned in my Buddha talk. Maya stands for illusions, and we are living among a great illusion. And only those who are enlightened, who have the secret wisdom, are able to see beyond that veil. He will move from the known for the first time, not into the unknown, but into the unknowable. Most of the cards in the suit of the mind, so this has to do with the mind. I feel like a lot of intellect is going to be activated this week, which is good. And definitely take a look at my School of Light, because you're going to get all of that intellect and knowledge there. These are either cartoon-like or trouble, but because of the influence of the mind in our lives, is generally either ridiculous or oppressive. But this card of consciousness shows a vast Buddha figure. So this is Buddha himself here showing up for us. This is what it's about this week. Reaching and seeking enlightenment. He's so expansive that he's gone even beyond the stars. And above his head is pure emptiness. Empty your mind to allow for the genius of the divine. My favorite motto to live by. He represents the consciousness that is available to all who become a master of the mind and can use it as a servant it is meant to be. which is we are servants to God on our mission. When you choose this card, it means that there's crystal clarity available right now. Detached, right? Letting go of expectations and detached from the ego. Rooted in the deep stillness that lies at the core of your being. There is no desire to understand from the perspective of the mind. The understanding that you have now is existential. Whole, in harmony with the pulse of life itself. Accept this great gift and share it. And this is the Heavenly Sent gift that I spoke about in the fashion show for June of 2021. So make sure that you watch it as well. Great cards to begin with for mental health. It's all about enlightenment this week. So let us move on now to emotional health. Okay, so for the emotional health, I'm bringing in a little bit of a divine feminine wisdom here. Because remember, the divine feminine is the one that holds the nurturance, the true wisdom, the intuition, the high priestess energy. So let's get a little bit of a healing here for our emotional health. Nurturance and self-care in the rebirth, and this is the preparation card. So more preparation is needed. More nurturance and more self-care is our guidance for filling up our cup emotionally. You see, this is the emotional cup. We are unemotionally fulfilled due to lack of self-care, and that's okay to admit. But now it's time to take action towards this. Beautiful message. This is about reaching again the ultimate state of purification. And this is what's gonna regenerate your sense of sensuality, playfulness, innocence, and return to your best self. Beautiful message. And to be able to be pure for a new romantic situation as well, right? If you've been hurt from the past, you need to make sure that there's no speck of that so that it won't fall into this next relationship for both parties involved, right? Now let's get spiritual health guidance from my special Heal Yourself cards. You know, this is a good kind of way that I organized it for today's weekly health guidance. Might be a new way of doing it, because physical body is always obvious, but of course I always give extra messages. You know, for physical body, let's get an extra one. I am feeling that same message from last week. Focus on your lymphatic system, sweating it out, removing, detoxing from toxins that have built up in your body. Could be emotional toxins, believe it or not, or it can just be from choosing the wrong foods. Or if you drink or you do drugs, detox from all of that stuff and purge it out. So that's a message. And then for when it comes to spiritual health, couldn't get any more confirmation this week and this month that it's a month about self-love. Self-love is the way. This is a beautiful self-love card. And this is kind of like the card that we got here with her beautiful white dress, transparent and beautiful like a goddess. Inner beauty is what's going to shine from the inside out. Beautiful card. And interesting that it's a number 24 because summer begins June 22nd, I believe. And I feel like this is like what is the final weeks of spring focus on. Self-love, because I feel like summer is going to be a whole new energy. So just continue on your work, on your inner healing work. I'm wishing you all an amazing, very healing and healthy week. I'll see you all next week. Namaste. you.